right, Sean, what are we drinking today? We have gin from our local distillery here in the Miramichi. It is Three Dog Distillery. And this is the Sambucus gin. It is a beautiful, flamboyant color, as you can see, mixed with a simple lemon soda and a lime. It gives off a Joker vibe when you say the purple and green, or also a Jokinard vibe. And we're going to talk about Jokinard down the road, aren't we, Sean?
We certainly are.
Cheers. That's good. Fuck John Menzies. All right, so who's that guy? You'll find out in just a moment. Who are we? I am Sketchy Old Tom Daly, alongside my good friend, the Doctor of History, Sean McCarthy. And what is this, Sean?
This is Tell Me a Story.
This is Tell Me a Story, exactly. Our podcast, which we've been at now for some months.
That's right.
And this episode is about Prohibition. And now, I got to confess, I didn't think we actually had Prohibition in Canada, because I was most familiar with the American Prohibition, the Roaring '20s, and Boardwalk Empire, and Al Capone, and all that sort of thing. And in Boardwalk Empire, of course, it's those Canadian club balls rolling up on the shore. Right. So I always thought we were the land of free, liberal booze up here in the Great White North. But that wasn't the case, was it? We were dry as a bone for a while.
Well, sort of, I guess.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The bone was very dry in some places, and it was just as wet as you can imagine. In Kent County, our Acadian friends, it's always wet in Kent County. They never fell for Prohibition.
I mean,
long live the Catholic Church.
There you go. Right. Absolutely.
To the new Pope. We got a new Pope today, and if you're watching this, God knows the world might be over and the Pope might be dead. But as of today, for us, there is a new Pope.
There is. So congratulations to Pope Leo.
Leo the 14th.
Indeed.
May he too see the devil the way Leo the 13th did. In the episode, we talked about St. Michael's Basilica, which you should all watch.
Yes, indeed.
St. Michael the Archangel defend us this day in battle, now more than ever.
But yes, we also appeared in our episode on Professor Baldwin.
Yes, that's right.
Performed before Pope Leo.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to point. As you were saying, so Kent County never went. I guess we did go, but we didn't really go all the way.
No.
Because
isn't that something? We're kind of like that as a county. And where are we? This is the Miramichi, where, always a little too late to the dance. You always show up when the food is half eaten and all the good-looking girls are gone and everybody's a little too drunk and there's already blood on the floor.
Well, there we go.
As I said, if you wait till the last minute, you come in last place.
Well, it could be argued so.
But anyway, let's talk about this Scott Act.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll roll it back first. The very first talk about Prohibition in this part of the country happens in what year? It's way back in the 1800s, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1855.
1855.
The government, the New Brunswick government, puts in place an act for prohibition.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite of the Scott Act in the fact that it's too well enforced and too harsh.
It can't be too good.
Yeah, that's it. You're locking people up without trial and all this, so it becomes too controversial and they have to drop it.
Okay.
But there is a call throughout the latter part of the 19th century for prohibition. A lot of people feel that alcohol is bad, so let's take a drink on that note. But the government doesn't want to give up that juicy tax revenue.
Of course not. That doesn't change.
Exactly. So what they decided to do was a compromise, and they come up with this idea of the Scott Act, which allows counties to have their own local option. So a county can vote itself dry. So that means that the province or the federal government doesn't have to make the country or the province dry. So they can still get some of that tax revenue off sales of liquor and exports and all that stuff too.
Of course.
So in 1880, we did just that. Northumberland County voted itself dry.
Okay.
By about 200 votes.
Okay, so it's close. It was a close election.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So so at that point, I think the sale and the consumption of alcohol was illegal.
Okay.
And I guess you needed a license to be able to like as a doctor to give it to somebody to prescribe it.
Yep.
And then I guess you probably need a license to produce it. as well. So there's probably still a
A
certain
license
amount of
for that.
Yeah.
That would make sense because you'll see like distilleries here in Canada. I think it is Canadian Club. It's like since 1858.
Yeah.
That's uninterrupted, and that's a different part of the country too, of course. But it makes sense how they got to go.
closer to home, I
Stay in
guess.
business.
In churches, sacramental wine was accepted.
Oh, of course,
So,
yeah.
so I guess if
Good point.
monasteries or whatever can still make
Yep.
wine, or private individuals who supply the church could still make wine.
Of course.
But,
There you go.
yeah.
What a time that must have been. You had to go to church to get a drink.
I guess so.
You had to go to the Catholic Church, folks. Maybe the Anglican. I think they use the real wine too. If you're Anglican, you're watching this, let me know. It's hard to get a drink. I also heard that dentist was actually an easier way to get that prescription because a lot of people had tooth problems back then. Dental hygiene, not what it is today. So if you said you had a toothache, they would easily prescribe you a bottle of rum, which would probably make your teeth a lot worse over time, but would kill the pain
Yeah,
for the time being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
in the immediate term, you're good.
In the immediate term, yeah. I'm sure these dentists caught on too when you came back for that rum prescription. Every week, like I could have pulled the tooth for like 1/4 of the price by now, but
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. Then I'd have pain with it. I'd have phantom pain where
That's it,
where
yeah.
the tooth was.
sometimes that's what you need alcohol for, to make the pain in your head disappear.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right. So 1880s time period.
Yeah.
Wild. So like I said, it's Northumberland County is enforcing it, but we got a county pretty close to us, Kent County, at least from where I grew up.
Yep.
And this might be growing up in Burnaby, this little Irish hamlet about half an hour away is the Acadian community, Rogersville. And I think that's darn close to the Kent County. It was darn close. The other side of Rogersville, I think.
Yeah, the other side of Rogersville, you're in Kent County.
Okay, yeah. So I know there was always this talk about the old timers making this pilgrimage to Rogersville. And that wasn't to look at the statues of the Blessed Virgin Mary, although there are many. No, it was to go to the liquor store in Rogersville.
Of course.
They were going that direction as opposed to going to Newcastle, which would probably be even shorter, I would think. But
But I suppose Burnaby and the entire parish of Nelson voted against the Scott Act.
That's
So
true.
it was not very
Exactly.
popular.
It was. It certainly was not. No, it certainly wasn't. And this thing is drawn along religious lines
It
too,
certainly
wasn't it?
is.
It certainly was. Yeah. All right.
So, so whereas the 1855, and now we get to John Menzies, the 1855 Act was too rigorously enforced. This one was not rigorously enforced at all, really. So they put John Menzies in charge of being the prohibition officer, the Scott Act figure who could go out, basically to give out fines, so $50 for if he caught you with alcohol or
Okay.
whatever. So, but of course he's one man,
Yeah.
and our county is quite large.
It's a big one. Yeah. It's a biggest county in New Brunswick, I do
I
believe.
believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So he had his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
And he found it very hard. He was very dedicated, but he had a hard time. He was famously struck in the head with a flat iron at one point.
That's a good start.
Yeah, tried to make a raid, and basically somebody just clonked him.
Clubbed him over the head.
Yeah, that's it. So that one didn't work out too well. He was apparently bribed with an amount of money that was larger than his annual salary, but
His annual salary, folks. Think about that. So they were going to bribe him. In one night, he was going to make more than he made in that entire year. And he wouldn't take the bribe.
he would not.
No. So then they just clubbed him over the head and kept the money. Idiot. And
So there you go.
So he's making these raids. He's one man. I guess he doesn't have like a SWAT team or anything backing him up, does he?
No, I think he could probably get like the town marshal or whatever to
Okay.
kind of back him up. I would expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's really on his own. Like talk to the sheriff or whatever, and just sort of get some backup that way. But he's on his own in terms of
He's taking on these bootleggers and these guys making their home brew who probably, been working in the fields their entire lifetime or cutting lumber. They're in pretty good shape, and
Sure.
they might have even returned home from a war abroad, or who knows. Yeah.
Conceivably, sure.
Yeah.
This is in place until 1916. So
That's true too. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a long stretch. So 1880 until 1916.
36 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, so it's and we talk about this time period with the plays and things we've done, that latter part of the 1800s, the early 1900s. So, yeah, I'm thinking like my grandfather would have grown up at the time. He was a young man, you know what I mean? This was, yeah, okay. So this was very like a whole generation there grew up with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I say, probably pretty easy to hide because there's only one guy kind of
Yeah.
going around looking, and especially where if you're in a part of the county, you're in a parish of the county where it's unpopular, probably all that much more.
I'm
easy
thinking,
to do,
this one guy going to go into deep into Barnaby or
That's
the
right.
infamous rum hole of Nelson, where this guy is from. Proud to be from the rum hole.
Indeed, absolutely. That's it. And Nelson, of course, a hotbed of activity. We kicked the Temperance Society out of town. We wouldn't let them stay there.
Good.
They had to seek
Wasn't
shelter.
the Temperance Society like mostly old ladies too or something? That's even funnier. You old bitch. Just like,
Fly the hell out of here.
oh yeah, just throwing them out like Christ throwing the moneylenders out of the temple, doing the Lord's work in Nelson.
Father Egan making the whip of cords and driving them.
Exactly. Oh yeah, he had the shillelagh. He didn't need the courts.
Oh dear.
Get your arse back to napping.
Exactly. That's it. So so they had to meet across the river in Derby Junction because across the O'Brien Bridge because it was too dangerous for them to. That's it. And of course, as we mentioned in our episode on the brawls at Carroll's store,
Yes.
one of the deaths that in 1879, the murder of William Connick by Joseph Marr may have been one of the reasons why the Scott Act was passed.
Why it was passed.
That's
yeah.
it. But yeah, a lot of bootlegging going on in Nelson. Famously, in 1893, there were two ladies in Nelson, and their names weren't mentioned, obviously, to protect them. But the people in Nelson have told me different times that they knew who they were.
You know the names.
Yeah, that's it.
This guy.
But
The
yeah,
doctor of history, putting his PhD to good work, knowing who local bootleggers were in the late 1800s.
exactly.
Worth 10 years and 40 grand.
Absolutely, every penny. But yeah, fined 3 times in as many weeks. So clearly this $50 fine wasn't doing it, right? It wasn't stopping anybody from doing anything. They were caught, fined, caught again, 3 times.
Yeah.
So it was not long after this that the county kind of stepped forward and said, all right, we're going to up it to $100 and we're going to tack on a 30-day jail term.
Okay.
Still didn't do anything.
Still didn't do it. Okay.
No.
That's quite a, So what year is this? The $100 fine? That's,
So I think that's by about 1894, but let me check
okay.
let me check my notes
so
here.
that's quite a chunk of money, judging by I have no idea. Inflation today, what that would be.
I'm sure it would be, yeah.
It'd be
That's
up in
it.
the thousands of dollars, at least, I would say.
Yeah. So, 1894 or thereabouts, they're raising it up. They're putting a 30-day jail term on. But like I say, it doesn't seem to deter anybody. They're still, or doesn't, maybe get sort of the small timers, but doesn't, the lads that are making the
Isn't
big
that
money,
the way? You know what I mean? Forcing the little guy out.
That's it. Yeah. Because there's still quite a few people that are doing this. So one repeat offender here, it says they lost 165 bottles in one raid in 1896.
Wow.
This was the gentleman's third offense. He paid $125.40 in fines in a single week. And then would turn around and have more liquor seized not long afterward.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
So that's it. Clearly, I don't know if this is homemade stuff.
That's
or
what I'm
if
wondering
it's,
too. Is it, are they making themselves or somehow they smuggling it in from Europe, I guess it would be the big
or from
one?
Kent County.
Ah, there you go. What am I saying? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. They're probably just going over and
Oh, God, yes.
know.
Yeah, they're going to Rogersville.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
30 minutes away.
that's it.
Yeah.
They're making the
What the hell?
pilgrimage.
There we go. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
They're not even, yeah.
But yeah, so that was that was going on a fair bit in those times. Even on Beaubears Island, where we all worked, Creepy Dave included, was a site of bootlegging for a number of years. In 1894, there was one woman that was caught, arrested, fined, and rearrested on the same day. So,
What a day that was.
I guess so. By 3 years later, her and her daughter were both pulling a stretch in the county jail for bootlegging. So
wow. Mother-daughter business.
I guess so, yeah. Keep it in the family.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, too, that there were so many women bootleggers, because you always picture, like, women being against alcohol for some reason or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
But, but they're the ones actually, doing the dirty work in this case. Yeah.
I wonder, too, if that's on account of the fact that I think at this point still women are not considered persons under the law.
Oh,
they have no possessions, so it's much more difficult to find them.
Okay,
because everything they own, they don't own. Their husbands own. All the property belongs to their husband at the time of their marriage.
Interesting.
And their father beforehand.
Yeah, and maybe they might go a little easier on a woman with a jail sentence or something too.
That's
do you think?
True, yeah. With those attitudes at that time.
I think
sure.
so. Yeah. They had that going for them at least back then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's probably why John Menzies let his guard down, let himself get clocked.
That was definitely a woman that hit him. Yeah. Some old outlaw just laid it in there. Used to beating her husband with a cast iron frying pan anyway. Someone from the Southwest.
There you go.
Yeah.
At different times, there was efforts to repeal it, but they were never quite successful. There was also efforts to sort of, make an exclusion for beer and wine. Because, hard liquor was the bad liquor.
That's why we're drinking this.
Exactly. That's it. So beer and wine were supposed to be all right, but even that, they couldn't get, those exceptions seemed to, were kind of fought against, maybe because they figured, the pro-temperance folks figured that if it was, that would be a gateway or a doorway or just a step to getting the whole thing repealed. Now they tried to do what they could to, show that you can have a fun time without alcohol. So a lot of temperance picnics going on at this time,
a bunch of old sober wasp dancing. Yeah, that must have been a fun time to watch.
There you go. Also had a lot of, articles, thoughtful questions for working men.
Oh, God. I think you sent me some of these back when you were.
That's it. Talking about like, do the bartenders have your best interests at heart? Are they in business to help you, or are they in business to help themselves? Like, anyway. We won't say that about the mill owner because we already know,
We know he doesn't give a shit about you. Yeah. But the thing is, you can say like, oh, that store clerk selling you that chocolate bar to see, he's going to give you diabetes. You know what I mean? It's not.
Of course. That's it.
Where do you stop with these accusations? Yeah.
Indeed. A lot of recipes for like unfermented wine,
So grape juice.
Yeah, clearly. That's it. Yeah, that's right. Linking back to another episode that we've just done here very recently, it's thought that the Scott Act was the reason why Peter Mitchell got out of town.
Yes.
So he relocated to Montreal in about 1881. So it's thought that, that's probably why.
Yeah, what a contrast that must have been. I looked at the time period in Montreal. Montreal was wild even then. You know what I mean? It was, and they were never fucking around with this prohibition there.
It's not,
No.
That's it.
What a place to go for a guy having like a mid to late life crisis. His marriage is falling apart and his kids hate him and he just needs a drink. Montreal's a place to go, folks.
That's it.
That hasn't changed. Yeah.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. But, still managed to run successfully and unsuccessfully in a number of campaigns, all of which it was clear that he was still distributing rum at.
Oh, there you go.
Even though he's representing this county, a dry county, he has no problem disseminating alcohol.
Still got his connections.
I guess so. That's it. Yeah. Helps when your brother's the high sheriff.
Okay, yeah. This thing is as corrupt as hell, isn't it? Right from the get-go,
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing it lasted so long, because usually we're familiar with stupid laws, but it feels like they immediately figured, like, that didn't work, and then just, okay. But this one went on and on and on.
Probably because I suppose, most people, the wets were clearly happy because they could contravene the law pretty much with impunity, and the dries, probably there was probably enough, like all the liquor is happening kind of behind closed doors. So if you don't want to see it, you don't have to see it.
And in their little community or whatever, there isn't anything. So they can pat themselves on the back and say they've cleaned up the whole area when, So it's just divided people even more.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that's really kind of so public sentiment by the end of the by the 19 teens is kind of turned totally against the law, and then it's lost in 1916.
1916. So right in the middle of World War One at this point. That has something to do with it too, does it?
I think so, because the country then starts to kind of move toward prohibition as a war measure, like to preserve alcohol for the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. And then that ends after the war, and then in 1927, the New Brunswick Liquor Control Board is established, and they look after.
That's NB Liquor. It's still around today.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So they decide to kind of let the provincial government just sort of manage, because of course I guess before 1880, and then obviously clandestinely afterward, just individuals are selling alcohol.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Gotcha. And I guess the end of World War One, you've got all these guys coming back from the war that have been gassed and saw horror beyond hell, and they're in bad shape.
Sure. They are.
So I feel like they're using some of that alcohol to numb the pain as well, too.
No question. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So and that was pretty much it. We had I'd say our alcohol laws now are probably more open than they've ever been. When we were growing up, the grocery stores didn't have like beer or wine, and that's out there now and has been for the last, what would it be now, about 5-7 years or something like that? Something like that, yeah. And and then of course, we have the great local distilling companies, and
that's true.
Yeah, we had Carol's rum last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And they had the gin from Three Dog Distilling this week. So
that's right. Yeah. So I guess, Tom, you spent some time out in BC, and obviously the laws out there are a little bit different than what they were here.
Yeah, they are. They're different again out there. When I was there, and I worked at a liquor store, so I'm a pro. They had like provincial controlled liquor stores. So the BC liquor stores, they sucked. The beer was always warm. There was no coolers, but the beer was just there, like on a shelf or whatever. And that's what people hated the most probably about it. The hours weren't great either. You know what I mean? They'd close, around, I forget the exact amount of time they'd close, probably at like 5 on a Sunday and maybe 8 or 9 during the week or something. And then the thing they did have going for them, it was like 50 cents to $1 or $2 cheaper on each thing. So the place where I worked, the El Dorado Liquor Store in East Van, was a private liquor store, and we could do a lot. There's no dress code either, so I could easily wear this and play whatever Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden songs I wanted. And they said just keep the damn cooler filled. If there's a Canucks game on, you're just boom, 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 24-pack after 24-pack, just one after another into that thing. And I'd spend like the whole time back there. It was a great workout, and I didn't have to talk to people, which was great. And keep it cold. And the selection of liquors and liqueurs might not be as big, say, as like the BC liquor stores, and it'll be a little more expensive. But you can make your own hours. Yeah, a lot of them are, I think, open at 9 a.m. till 11 or 12.
Okay.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
There's one on Hastings, I remember. It's like, we are open 365 days a year. I love that sign or whatever, with a big exclamation mark and a smiley face. And it was like, we never close. We'll be here Christmas Day for breakfast, dinner, and supper. And,
joy to the world.
Exactly, yeah. Good times. Yeah. I like those ones because there wasn't government control. Like those were ones somebody, I assume, bought like a license. You probably gave the government your cut or something, but they had more edge to them. They were more fun, it felt like. And the BC lecture always felt more like uptight or whatever. So that's what they were like. Then you had your microbreweries, Steamworks, of course, from early as I could remember, always sold their product. They had like a little liquor store right beside always sold their stuff. So yeah, it was different out there from the get-go. And our friends across the border in Quebec, they've had the stuff on the shelf for a very long time, haven't they?
That's true, they have, yeah. Quite some time.
All their grocery stores and convenience stores and stuff, I think, have beer and wine for, I don't know how long, but...
Yeah, I vividly remember, even like for bow bears, we'd be going over for something, just on the other side of the Hamilton border, I'll bring back some beer, because it's cheaper and it's in the convenience store
the convenience store right there, yeah. With Sexy Puff and...
That's right. Yes, indeed. That's it. Featured in our Phantom Ship of the Schiller Bay episode.
Yep. There's a timeline here, folks. If you don't know what the hell we're talking about, go back and watch.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. But the guy got in trouble for that, eh? Because bringing beer from Quebec over to New Brunswick, he got taken to court or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a controversy some years ago.
He fought it and won, did he not?
I think he did.
And,
I think he did.
And now provincial relations are supposed to be better than they've ever been because,
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. Which they should be. Otherwise, threaten to join the United States. Join Russia. I don't care. Always fight the government somehow. So, yeah.
There you go.
Speaking of Russia, a country that has always fascinated me, I saw where, beer was considered a soft drink until like 2010 or 2011. So anybody could buy a beer under 10% alcohol at any time.
Under 10.
Yeah, under 10% alcohol. It was the same as like a Coke or a Pepsi. Right. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because vodka was the only real liquor, I guess, that they respected over there.
Right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have we done it?
I think so. I think that's, pretty much the Scott Act in a nutshell.
The Scott Act in a nutshell. Complete government failure, like so many things we've witnessed in our short lifetime. But you know who's not a failure? Creepy Dave, our artist friend, the producer of the show, and the guy who creates Coffee Doodles, which you can find on YouTube. Coffee Doodles by David Jardine. Link in the description below.
Yes, sir. And if you're enjoying these videos, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll tell more people about this content, that people they're going to like it. People that are going to have opinions about it and are going to write about it. We want to hear from them. And we want to hear from anyone who has ideas or suggestions about more stories that we can tell, because we want to tell the stories you want to listen to.
Exactly, folks. So, get in touch with us. And until next time, have a good one.